Let's begin this video with a thought experiment. What if you woke up tomorrow and everything was different in your life? What if your usual life, as you have known it till this very moment, perished and gave way to a reality unfamiliar to your senses? Then, how would you feel? How would you act in your new reality? You might think it's not so easy to shift from your current reality, or that we are bound by time, space, and circumstance, trapped in a singular linear existence with no escape. But that's the lie they want you to buy into, because it keeps you from your own power as the only architect of your life experience. This idea of different timelines, dimensions, and realities is not new, but is definitely scary for a mind that has never wondered about the truth of life and consciousness. This is the great mental game most of us have been subjected to. Many ancient cultures and civilizations have maintained the idea of multiple dimensions and timelines. The Mayans, for instance, viewed time as a series of interwoven cycles that governed the destiny of the world. The end of one of these cycles, such as the much-discussed 2012 prophecy, was believed to usher in a shift in consciousness. It was seen as a moment when the world would transition into a new era. So, a shift in timelines is, in fact, a shift in consciousness, because your world is nothing more than your consciousness objectified. The moment you elevate your consciousness, you automatically align yourself with the infinite possibilities in the quantum field. By accessing alternative timelines, you can become the best, abundant, most powerful version of yourself. That was your purpose behind coming into this three-dimensional world all along. However, those in charge of keeping us in the matrix do not want this information to become common knowledge. They want you to forever stay in the illusion of scarcity, of competition, of fixed identity. But that being said, many seekers do shift timelines as a result of their own curiosity and hunger for truth, and you might be one of them. For many, it's a slow process, and sometimes they do not even realize they have ventured into another dimension of reality, and you may be one of them. So, in this video, let's discover 7 potent signs that would help you assess if you have shifted timelines. These signs are almost like breadcrumbs from the universe, guiding you through the unknown terrain of shifting dimensions toward the best, most elevated version of you. From the moment we are born into a body, the only reality we know and consider concrete is the one we construct through our 5 senses. This is our 3D reality. While this aspect of familiarizing ourselves with the 3D helps us navigate the outer world, we are often disconnected from our inner world as a result. Most of us live chained to the evidence of our senses, and hence, life becomes limited, and most of us get bored of the monotony. But when you shift timelines, the illusion of this 3D reality starts to wear off. You start feeling an unexplainable disconnect from what you see, touch, smell, taste, and experience in the material realm. This happens because you begin awakening to the truth of your existence of being an interdimensional being, and hence, the conditions of the material world become suffocating for your mind and body. This disconnection also makes you question the very nature of what you have always accepted as real for so long. It is right at this moment of awakening, when the boundaries between what is material and what is spiritual, what is physical and what is metaphysical, begin to blur for you. You start to perceive that the limitations of time, space, and matter are not as rigid as once believed. This shift is the start of your journey into realms other than 3D, and to be very honest, it can seem disorienting at first. You have relied on the evidence of your senses for too long, so just the idea of trying to comprehend anything different seems bizarre. And most importantly, people around you don't think and feel the same, so that would make you feel even more out of place. If you are in this situation, know that it feels so different because you are not accustomed to knowing anything else than your old life. Even the neural circuits in your brain have been tainted by your unique routine and perspectives. So, the shift will feel unfamiliar at first, but if you trust the process, you will be able to find a stable footing in this new environment. When you become a quantum traveler and shift timelines, time, in its traditional sense, will begin to lose its meaning to you. Time is a human construct anyway. In realities beyond our own, there is no concept of time. Everything happens in the eternal now, the present moment, which is all there is. Even your life is a chain of many present moments strung together. In our current life and understanding, we are so occupied with the past or the future that we forget to cherish what is presented to us in the moment. Look back at your life and ponder for a second. How many times have you looked back at a particular moment in your life and realized you never truly valued it while it was happening? It could be a beautiful evening you spent with someone you love, moments of joy with your parents, or even a simple, boring yet comfortable day at home that you might have hated in the moment. But now that you look back at it, it has become something so meaningful for you. But at that time, while living that moment, your mind was somewhere else, planning, worrying, thinking about what you had to do next. This is the trick time plays on us. It tricks us into believing that maybe the next moment, the next year, or the next relationship is more important and worthy of our attention than what we have here at the moment. We foolishly think that by anticipating what's coming and by striving for the next milestone, we are making progress, when, in fact, we might be missing out on the very moments that could make life meaningful. Therefore, for most of us, life becomes a grand chase of something elusive. But when you shift timelines, there is a shift in your consciousness, and hence, you do not emotionally bond with the past or the future the same way you used to. You realize that no matter how much you regret, you cannot change the past. But each moment you spend regretting or remembering the past is keeping from the joy of the present moment. Similarly, your obsession with the future tones down as well. You reach this wild understanding that being anxious about the future is doing you no good, but stealing away all your precious energy that could be used to create miracles right now. If you find yourself amidst tumultuous intimate relationships and friendships, then it can be another sign that you have shifted timelines. The connections that once seemed fulfilling or comforting may suddenly feel heavy, draining, or no longer aligned with your energy. And you might even notice that the friendships you once cherished don't spark joy or fulfillment anymore. It's as though you've outgrown these people and, in some cases, entire social circles. Here is the basic mechanism behind this. The moment you shift into a new timeline, you are, in essence, stepping into a reality where your energy is in resonance with a higher, more expansive version of yourself. The people who you were once close to came to you because their energy and vibration synced with yours at some level. So, even if they were not the nicest lovers or friends to be around, it is liberating to know that you attracted them through the frequency you put out into the universe. But now that your energy has elevated, it is natural that those connections would prune apart one by one. Think of the process of shifting timelines as the universe conducting a deep, energetic spring cleaning of your life and personal connections. Yes, it would not be comfortable, but know that this change is absolutely essential for your spiritual ascension. Just as we periodically declutter our homes, clearing away objects, clothes, and belongings that no longer serve us, the universe similarly clears out aspects of our lives that have become energetically stale, stagnant, or misaligned with our higher selves. Only if you let go of relationships that you once attracted because of being on a negative frequency can you make room for other people and connections who would sync with you because of your elevated consciousness. So, expect that some relationships that once felt so comforting, familiar, or even essential may begin to feel suffocating or irrelevant. You might experience sudden emotional detachment from people you once shared intimate bonds with, or you may start to notice that you no longer have the patience or energy to maintain certain friendships. This isn't because these people are not worthy or evil in some way, but it's simply because you have energetically outgrown these connections. Do not blame yourself or them for whatever happens. Let them go with grace and love so that you can become a vessel for relationships that truly belong to you. One of the most noticeable changes you are bound to observe within yourself after shifting timelines is your sudden craving for peace and silence. Under normal circumstances, most of us are running away from silence because we do not want to confront the battles going on within us. But when we are alone with our thoughts, there's nowhere to hide from the emotions and unresolved issues lurking beneath the surface. Past traumas, unhealed emotional wounds, and memories come to haunt us in many ways. But the noise of the outer world never lets us fully acknowledge these internal problems. And for many, the pain of these unresolved issues is so intense that it's easier to keep moving, keep doing, and stay distracted. But as your consciousness expands, you realize that all those memories, questions, and conflicts cannot impact you without your permission. This realization liberates you and gives you the courage to embrace stillness. So you find yourself wanting to spend more and more time by yourself in solitude. As silence begins healing you on a deep, energetic level, it becomes a new addiction. This is the time when most people naturally resort to their faith or become curious about practices like deep breathing or meditation. Another reason for craving silence is that as you move through different timelines, your energy shifts and your inner world becomes more sensitive to the vibrations around you. So, what once felt like a typical bustling day suddenly begins to feel overwhelming or overstimulating. This points towards heightened sensitivity to energy around you. In such cases, even normal conversations, traffic noises, music, and notifications can start to feel like an invasion of your peace, making you long for moments of quiet where you can recharge. If this is happening to you, embrace and honor this desire for silence and give yourself ample time to sit alone with your thoughts. Make a 20-minute meditation practice a part of your everyday routine so that you can offer yourself the chance to unite with your higher self regularly. Also, it's vital to remember that when you relish silence, you are not retreating from normal life, but instead creating the mental and emotional space needed to thrive in your new, shifted reality. In the stillness, we create room to process our emotions, reflect on our desires, and listen to the deeper voice inside that often gets drowned out by the cacophony of daily life. This quiet space hence becomes the fertile ground where true transformation begins, not just mentally, but emotionally and spiritually as well. A major reason most of us remain chained to our old selves and become conformists is the fear of rejection and disapproval from others. We are social creatures, and the fear of being abandoned or banished from the tribe is a part of our reptilian brain. It once helped us survive the harsh, alien environments, but that fear no longer serves us today. If anything, it keeps us from growing and becoming the best version of ourselves. The people who worry too much about other people's validation or approval cage themselves into dependence. At the core of this behavior is the belief that who you are and what you do isn't enough unless it's acknowledged or accepted by someone else. But as you shift timelines, this need for someone else to accept you withers away. This happens because of the emotional and spiritual shifts taking place within your psyche. On an emotional level, as you release your attachment to past traumas and outdated beliefs, you start to understand that your value isn't tied to external measures like praise, approval, or validation. You begin to understand that very few people will resonate with the new version of you, and hence, trying to seek their approval is anyway a futile attempt. Therefore, your worth becomes intrinsic, rooted in the very essence of who you are, independent of the opinions or judgments of others. Your sense of self begins to feel fuller, more grounded, and more complete without needing constant affirmation from outside sources. As a result, you feel more confident in your decisions and interactions, and that powerful shift begins impacting all your relationships in a significantly positive manner. Lately, have you been having recurring dreams about something meaningful to you? Or during your waking hours, you might have seen some strange occurrences like noticing a butterfly that appeared out of nowhere, getting a check that you weren't expecting, or even finding 3 green traffic lights in a row. These are all signs and synchronicities indicating you have changed timelines. When we undergo spiritual growth or profound changes in our consciousness, we do not just change on the inside, but energetically. The universe begins to match our vibration. Everything in the universe is made up of energy, whether it's visible or not, whether it is tangible or intangible, and your energy interacts with the things, people, and events in your immediate environment to create situations that match your underlying vibrational change. So, when we shift timelines, suddenly, we find ourselves in situations that feel like they are guiding us towards something bigger, something more aligned with who we are becoming. It's all a divine plan to help you recognize your inherent worth and magic. It's not about the exact form of the event, but the deeper meaning behind it, the feeling that things are happening for you, not just to you. You might just notice something seemingly as trivial as a repeating number pattern on the board at the highway, and it might be a sign from the universe. What really matters is developing the art of decoding what the universe is trying to say to you through that particular sign. To decode the secret message, you need to tune into your intuition. Try to remember what you were thinking when that sign came to you. Pay attention to the emotional and energetic shifts that occur within you when you encounter that sign of synchronicity. Do you feel a sense of alignment, calm, or even excitement? That emotional response can help you interpret the deeper message of the sign. If you are in need of help, that sign or synchronicity might be pointing you toward the path you should take. So, pay close attention every time these signs come about. The last and the most powerful sign indicating that you have indeed shifted timelines is that you gain control over your reality. Your thoughts, feelings, and intentions manifest almost instantly, or at the very least with remarkable speed. This rapid manifestation process isn't some mystical or supernatural phenomenon. It's the natural result of aligning with your higher self. At our very core, we are all creators because we all are extensions of the source from where everything originates. Creation is a divine attribute of the soul, and hence, it's our birthright to be able to create things and situations that give us the most joy and satisfaction in our 3D experience. However, as a soul enters into a body, it begins to resonate more with its physical nature rather than its spiritual essence. Therefore, for most of us, our creative potential is hidden beneath layers of conditioning, limiting beliefs, societal expectations, and fears. These layers obscure our natural ability to manifest, often leading us to believe that we are victims of circumstance, powerless to change our situations. But as you shift timelines, decades of flawed conditioning disappear in the face of your light and power. And hence, whatever you think, feel, and imagine, start showing up in your life at a lightning-fast speed. And then, very slowly, you learn to become more intentional with your focus, aware of how your inner state influences the external world. You start to align with the things you want to bring into your life, rather than being unconsciously pulled in different directions by past programming or outdated beliefs. This shift marks the start of a new chapter in your life, where you are no longer being dragged through situations, but are consciously creating every aspect of your magical life. You no longer feel like life is happening to you. Rather, you begin to believe it's happening for you. When you shift timelines, you're essentially stepping into a different version of reality. This can manifest in various ways, including changes in your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. You may find yourself experiencing a sense of peace, joy, or fulfillment that you haven't felt before. You may also notice that your relationships, career, or personal life are starting to align with your highest aspirations. If any of these resonated with you, and you felt the powerful shift when this change occurred, please do let us know in the comments. As you embody your higher self, you'll begin to let go of old patterns, limiting beliefs, and negative emotions. This can lead to a feeling of lightness, freedom, and empowerment. You'll also become more aligned with your intuition and inner guidance, which can help you make better decisions and navigate life's challenges with greater ease. Remember, that shifting timelines is a gradual process. It may take time to fully integrate the changes and experience the full benefits. Be patient with yourself and trust that you're on the right path.